Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1989 Jefferson nickel, a small but mighty piece of U.S. history. Is it just a regular coin, or could it be worth more than 5 cents? Let's find out. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple in American currency since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin honors Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and features his iconic Monticello home on the reverse. 1989 was a pivotal year in world history. Think the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War. But here in the United States, the Jefferson nickel continued its steady production, circulating in the pockets of millions of Americans. Now, let's talk about the design. On the obverse, you'll see a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Notice the details in his hair and his sharp profile. Below his portrait is the mint year 1989 and the motto, "In God We Trust." Flip the coin, and there's Monticello, Jefferson's beloved plantation home. Look for the Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, and the words 5 cents and United States of America. In 1989, Jefferson nickels were minted at 3 locations. Here are the mintage numbers. Philadelphia Mint, over 583 million coins. Denver Mint, over 574 million coins. San Francisco, of coins, about 3.2 million coins. Condition plays a big role in a coin's value. Most 1989 Jefferson nickels in circulation are only worth their face value of 5 cents. However, coins in pristine condition, known as uncirculated or graded MS65 and higher, can fetch higher prices. Proof coins from San Francisco are also valuable to collectors, especially if they are graded PR69 or PR70. Let's talk about the 1989 Jefferson nickels market value. For circulated coins, the value typically stays at 5 cents. However, uncirculated coins with a high grade might sell for $1 to $5. Proof coins from San Francisco can range from $3 to $15 depending on their condition and certification. Rare errors like off-center strikes or die cracks can increase the coin's value significantly. If you have a 1989 Jefferson nickel with an unusual feature, it's worth having it appraised by a professional. So, how can you tell if your 1989 Jefferson nickel is valuable? Start by inspecting the mint mark and overall condition. Use a magnifying glass to spot any errors or unique features. And remember, a mood, the 1987 USA 5-cent Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a collector or just curious, stick around to learn all about its design, minting history, and circulated value. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. currency since its debut in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag, whose iconic portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse have stood the test of time. The design remained largely unchanged until 2006, making the 1987 mill part of this long-running tradition. A left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson with the inscriptions, "I and God we trust, liberty," and "We Jefferson," formerly known as "Your." A detailed image of Monticello, accompanied by the inscriptions, "A pluribus unum," United States of America, and 5 centons. These nickels are composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving them a weight of 5 grams and a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. While the Philadelphia and Denver coins are common, proof coins from San Francisco are more sought after by collectors for their superior strike and mirror-like finish. In circulated condition, the 1987 Jefferson nickel typically holds a face value of 5 cents. However, well-preserved, uncirculated examples can fetch higher prices. Nickels with errors, such as off-center strikes or die cracks, can command significantly higher prices so keep an eye out for those rare finds. If you're collecting 1987 Jefferson nickels, focus on finding coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and clean fields. Storing them in coin holders or albums can preserve their condition and value over time. Don't forget to check proof sets for pristine examples of the 1987 nickel. The Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, is one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. It was designed to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The coin replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. In 1938, the U.S. Mint held a public design competition for the new 5-cent coin. The winner was Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor whose design featured Schlag's design was slightly modified before production, but it retained its distinctive character. It symbolized Jefferson's contributions to the nation, including his vision for democracy and his artificial genius. Changed due to a shortage of nickel metal, which was needed for military purposes. Wartime nickels 19421945 were made of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. These coins are identified by a large mint mark above Monticello. Jefferson nickels from this era are notable for changes in production quality and striking clarity as minting technology improved. The mint introduced new measures to address coin shortages. However, the Jefferson nickel's composition and design remained unchanged. The design underwent its first major changes during the Westward Journey nickel series, temporarily replacing Schlag's Monticello reverse with themes from the Lewis and Clark expedition. By 1987, the Jefferson nickel had been in circulation for nearly 50 years, still bearing Schlag's original design. Key details for this year include over 1.2 billion coins were minted across the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, reflecting the coin's essential role in everyday commerce. The design of the 1987 nickel reflected a sense of continuity, preserving its historical roots while meeting the demands of modern circulation. Few coins have remained in circulation for so long with minimal design changes. It honors one of the United States. 1972 Jefferson nickel, a humble yet significant piece of American coinage. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since its debut in 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin pays tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, with a bold portrait on the obverse and an image of his home, Monticello, on the reverse. On the obverse, you'll see Jefferson's left-facing profile, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" on the left, "Liberty" on the right, and the date 1972 just below his chin. Flip the coin over and you'll find the iconic depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. Surrounding the image are the words "Unum Flabis Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America." Now, let's talk about the 1972 Jefferson nickel in detail. This coin was minted in 2 locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Here's a quick breakdown. The Philadelphia Mint struck 2 5 8 9 3 4 0 0 0 0 coins, and these don't have a mint mark. The Denver Mint produced 3 5 1 6 9 4 6 0 0 coins, and these are marked with a small D on the reverse, to the right of Monticello. In circulated condition, the 1972 Jefferson nickel is generally worth its face value, 5 cents. However, as always, condition plays. Strikes, die cracks, and repunched mint marks are always exciting finds and can significantly increase a coin's value. Some error coins from this year have sold for as much as $100. Let's take a quick look at the world in 1972, the year this nickel was minted. The Vietnam War was ongoing. Atari released its first video game, and the Watergate scandal began to unfold. Owning a 1972 Jefferson nickel is like holding a small piece of history from a tumultuous yet fascinating year. The Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel, a coin with a rich and popular design, but production difficulties. The new design was selected through a competition announced by the Treasury Department in 1938. Artist Felix Schlag won the competition, earning $1,000 for his simple yet elegant design that featured President Thomas Jefferson and his estate, Monticello. Thomas Jefferson was chosen to appear on the nickel to honor his contributions as the principal author of the Declaration of Independence and the third President of the United States. Additionally, he played a vital role in expanding U.S. territory through the Louisiana Purchase and was a strong advocate for a democratic government. Artist Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1789. Inscriptions include Liberty and the date. In God We Trust. The reverse displays Jefferson's home, Monticello, a neoclassical mansion in Virginia. Schlag had to revise his original depiction of Monticello for clarity and accuracy, resulting in the version we see today. Quote, "The version of nickel had already been in circulation for over 3 decades. This year's coin was part of a period where the U.S. Mint focused on producing large quantities of coins for everyday commerce. The nickel's composition was unchanged since its introduction, remaining 75% copper and 25% nickel, making it durable for circulation. A notable feature of the 1972 Jefferson nickel is its lack of major design changes or historical events directly tied to the coin, as it maintained its standard form and function. However, the sheer number of coins produced ensured its ubiquity in pockets, cash registers, and vending machines. To understand the significance of the 1972 Jefferson nickel, it's important to consider the broader historical landscape. The Vietnam War was dominating U.S. politics and public sentiment. The Watergate scandal began, marking the start of a political crisis that would eventually Nixon's resignation in 1974, the space race continued, with the Apollo 16 mission landing on the moon. Technological advancements were shaping daily life, including the rise of video games with the release of Atari's The 1972. Jefferson nickel reflects a time of change and innovation in America, even as it carried on the mint's tradition of producing durable and dependable currency for everyday use. While the 2072 Jefferson nickel is not particularly rare, its enduring design and connection to Jefferson's legacy make it an interesting addition to any collection. Coins in mint condition or those with errors from 1972 are especially sought after by collectors, further tying this coin to the evolving story of American coinage. 1983 Jefferson nickel, a small but mighty coin in American history. We'll uncover its unique features, its mintage, and of course, its circulated value. So grab your coin collection and let's get started. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since it was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and a depiction of his Virginia estate, Monticello, on the reverse. This design remained largely unchanged until 2004, making the 1983 Jefferson nickel part of a long and iconic series. So, what makes the 1983 Jefferson nickel special? Let's start with the numbers. In 1983, these nickels were minted at 2 locations. That's a combined total of over 1.18 billion coins. With such high mintage numbers, the 1983 Jefferson nickel isn't rare in the traditional sense, but there's more to the story. Here's where it gets intriguing. In the 1980s, coin collecting had a major twist. Many people saved coins from earlier years, but due to the economic climate of the early 80s, fewer 1983 nickels were pulled from circulation in pristine condition. As a result, finding uncirculated 1983 Jefferson nickels today impact their value. When looking at a 1983 Jefferson nickel, here are some key features to check out. A sharp, detailed portrait of Jefferson. Look for crisp lettering and minimal wear. The Monticello should show clear details, especially on the steps. Collectors value coins with full steps, meaning all the steps of Monticello are visible. And so, what's the value of a 1983 Jefferson nickel? In circulated condition, most of these coins are worth their face value of 5 cents, as they're still common. However, if you come across one in better condition, here's a quick breakdown. If you're hunting for 1983 Jefferson nickels, your best bet is to check your pocket change or start a roll surfing hobby. Coin shops, online marketplaces, and coin shows are also great places to find higher grade examples or rare era. This design remained unchanged until 2004, making the 1983 Jefferson nickel part of the classic era of this series. The year 1983 was not marked by any major redesigns or commemorative changes for the Jefferson nickel, but the coin still holds importance in U.S. coinage history for several reasons. The early 1980s was a time of economic recovery in the United States. Inflation had peaked in the late 1970s and early stability in U.S. coinage. The design had remained consistent for over 40 years, and while other denominations were undergoing changes or commemorative redesigns, the nickel retained its classic appearance. This consistency made it a familiar piece of American life during the decade in '80, though the 1983 Jefferson nickel wasn't a standout in terms of unique design or commemorative significance. Its scarcity in high-grade conditions, coupled with the occasional discovery of errors, makes it a fascinating piece for numismatists and collectors. 2002 Jefferson nickel, a coin that millions of Americans have handled, but do you know its true story and value? Stick around to find out. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse. In 2002, the Jefferson nickel maintained its classic design, but it was part of the last few years before the big redesign of 2004 and 2005, which introduced the Westward Journey series. Over 1 billion Jefferson nickels were minted that year across the Philadelphia and Denver Mint. D. Sign 4, J. the Postmaster, W. M. Wright. Illustration, translucent, black in color, 647120 000. Zero coins. These large mintages make the 2002 Jefferson nickel a common coin in circulation. But there's more to its story than just numbers. While the 2002 Jefferson nickel doesn't boast rare metals, it's composed of a copper-nickel alloy. It's still of interest to collectors because of its design continuity and the occasional mint errors. Some notable errors in 2002 nickels include off-center strikes, die cracks, and filled mint marks. These mistakes can significantly boost the value of a coin. Nickels are worth their face value, 5 cents. However, coins in uncirculated or near mint condition can be more valuable to collectors. Here are a few tips for those interested in collecting 22 Jefferson nickels. Look for the mint marks on the right side of Monticello. Even minor errors can make a big difference in value. Proof coins from the 2002 mint sets are struck with sharper details and can be worth more to collectors, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting. 2002 Jefferson nickel is a fun coin to explore. Its high mintage makes it easy to find, but the hunt for error coins or high-grade examples adds an exciting challenge. The Jefferson nickel, first minted in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, The Jefferson nickel was chosen through a public competition and has become one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Here's a look at its development. Leading up to the 2002 issue, features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. Schlag's design portrays Jefferson with a calm and thoughtful demeanor, features Monticello, Jefferson's image emphasizes Jefferson's legacy as a statesman, architect, and advocate for Enlightenment ideals. During World War II, the Jefferson nickel underwent significant changes. To conserve nickel, which was a critical wartime material, the U.S. Mint introduced a silver war nickel composition in 1942. These coins contained 35% silver, along with copper and manganese. War nickels are distinguished by a large mint mark placed above Monticello on the reverse, and after the war, the original copper-nickel alloy returned. Over the decades, the Jefferson nickel saw only minor modifications, improved striking techniques for sharper details, adjustments to Monticello's details to enhance visibility. The 2002 issue retained Schlag's original design, continuing a run that spanned over 6 decades. The high mintage reflects its status as a common coin in everyday transactions. However, 2002 marked one of the final years of the classic Jefferson nickel design. In 2004, the U.S. Mint introduced the Westward Journey series to commemorate the Lewis and Clark expedition, altering the reverse design for the first time since 1938. The 2002 Jefferson nickel represents the tail end of an era. Its design remains a familiar sight in Americans' pockets, echoing decades of history. Today, while these coins are mostly valued at face value and circulated condition, they hold a special place in numismatics as symbols of continuity in U.S. coinage. Collectors often seek high-grade examples or error coins to enhance their collections. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.